the MySpook Agency Growth Summit in New York at the Noy House, owned by Convene. I'm here with Eric Altschul. He's CEO of Etherio Group, and we're just going to have a little bit of chat about business. So thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
So Etherio has experienced sort of quite a lot of growth over the last few years, some acquisitions and things. Could you maybe talk us a bit through sort of the group and how it's grown and changed, and then what sort of acquisitions you've been making?
Sure. So we've done both acquisitions and divestitures. So we started in the transient travel world, in 2013 with the acquisition of ABC Global Services. And we enhanced that during COVID. We bought our biggest competitor, CCR8's Hospitality Hotel Group, and we actually sold that last year. So that was our first and only divestiture. So we got out of the transient space. So we're fully in the meeting and event space as well as the association management space. And we've really done a number of acquisitions there, focusing on life sciences as well as corporate, and then separately association management. And what we're really trying to do is build what I would call a full service in-house agency association management company that really is in what I'll call the Goldilocks size. You know, we're not too big, we're not too small. We're just right to be able to do everything that a client needs in-house so that we can control it, we can control the quality, the relationship, and every aspect that we do for our clients.
And that's interesting that you talk about the Goldilocks size, because there's obviously a lot of consolidation happening in the market, a lot of people going for a global scale. What is that Goldilocks size for you, and are you kind of keen on remaining independent?
Right, so we're certainly keen on remaining independent, we'll do so. For us, the size or the Goldilocks size really isn't a particular number. We're a little over 200 team members today. For us, it is really about how we're able to maintain relationships, because what comes with our culture and our size is that we become true partners of our clients. That's our goal. So if we ever get to the size where internally we feel that our clients are more numbers than names, then we've done it wrong and we've got to scale back. For us, the Goldilocks size is fully about how we integrate with our clients and manage those relationships.
I guess, what were the biggest capabilities you were looking for when you were going for acquisition? What gaps were you trying to fill?
So, there's a number of different things that we need to do in the MICE space. You know, if I think we look at it maybe 10, 15 years ago, there's a big focus on logistics. You know, today, I compare it to an analogy that I learned a long time ago. You know, doing logistics well is a little bit like a hotel having clean sheets, a TV, soft pillows.
It's the basics.
It's the basics, it's the requirements. So what I think we all have to do in our industry today is scale up from there. And I don't mean scale and necessarily expanding many services, although we have the IT and we have the marketing and creative services and so on. But it is to scale up in our capabilities, to expand beyond logistics, to do experiential design, to be able to engage clients and develop for them the moments that their attendees really want to experience. And that's what that really needs to scale up.
Yeah. And when you acquire businesses, how do you approach the integration piece? How do you avoid culture clash and make sure that you're a cohesive organization? Yeah.
The acquisitions we've done and that we continue to pursue are where the culture fit allows us to bring the team together. So the goal is, after an acquisition, to bring the teams within a year into one another and allow people to thrive and allow people to really grow in their positions. And one of the things that also really works is when you come together and you have a bigger organization and you're focused on growth, both organic and acquisition, it gives team members the opportunity to grow in their careers. And that's one of the things we're really focused on with our team members, giving them the opportunity for promotions to get to that next level, to take on different client challenges. And so our both organic and acquisition growth strategy provides for that.
What are you finding that clients are asking for now that maybe they weren't 5 years ago?
So I think the biggest challenge we're all going through right now, and Howard talked about a little bit earlier how there's so many RFPs going on and so on. I think one of the challenges we all face today is that clients are very much, what have you done for me lately? So as much as I think as we all on the agency side and all of our colleagues, we talk about the partnership and pursue the partnership very effectively, there's still this subset of clients out there that's, everything in the meeting was wonderful, but I just want to go check a price. Or everything in the event turned out fabulous, but the chicken wings were cold, so I'm going to go out to RFP. And, it's a little bit of a silly analogy, but it's instead of our clients also taking a partnership approach where they'll say, hey, we're going to invest in this, we're going to work through this together, we're going to use each event as a learning opportunity for all of us to get better, which I think we would all like.
Yes.
There seems to be this drive or force now to say, hey, we just want to go check everything out in an RFP after each event. And, the end result is, we've retained virtually all of our business, but we do have clients, and all of us have clients that are going out to RFP, I think, far too frequently.
And that's hard, isn't it? And do you think that's been driven by procurement?
I think it has been driven partially by procurement, but also the fact is that in the last few years, costs have gone through the roof. And I think internally, when a director of meetings and events has to explain themselves to the CMO or the CEO, and that this event is now costing 28% more than it did last year, I think some of them feel the obligation to do their homework, to say, we went out and we put this out to bid, and yes, we got costings all within the same range. So I think there's a number of different.
Yeah, so they can sort of prove that that's how much costs have gone up.
Yeah.
You've also got quite a big footprint in the association sector as well. I mean, how's that sector faring at the moment? What are the main challenges that you're seeing in there, and the differences, I guess, with the more corporate meeting side?
Right. So it's interesting. Associations are, I think, at this inflection point. Associations traditionally, especially trade associations, have fulfilled an expertise role in their space. So if you're an association of XYZ, you are experts in XYZ, and people join the association to share knowledge, to gain knowledge, to become certified, and so on. And AI is having a dramatic impact on that. So in past years where we and others have managed knowledge bases, as an example for clients, you have AI models out there that have essentially become knowledge bases. So associations are many of them have to do some soul searching in terms of what is their primary value proposition. So that's number one. Number two is younger members joining associations don't have the same need that folks in our generation did many years ago, where they wanted to join associations for the networking, for the people, and for the community. Many younger folks aren't joining because they don't need that community. They find the community online or in other places. So there's a number of issues that I think associations need to work through, primarily reinventing their value propositions to really stand out and attract members.
What are your biggest challenges?
It is about talent. Each and every day, all of us want to do the best for our clients. And to do the best for our clients, we need to basically attract and retain the best experts out there and the greatest expertise. And training them and working with them and developing them and making sure that we deliver excellence each and every time for our clients. And it's something we all strive for. And that's probably, other than that, I sleep well.
Yeah, good. What do you think agencies need to get better at? I mean, there's always a lot of talk around maybe we're not as good at measurement in this industry as maybe some of the more mature marketing channels. Is that something as an industry you feel we need to get better at? Is there anything else you think on the meetings event side?
So I think it's different depending on different client bases. When I look at our life science space, they are so precise in terms of what they do and how they measure that they drive a lot of that. And then there's other clients that more turn to agencies to say what can or should we be doing differently. I think one of the things we need to do is help our clients better with data and with ROI, and being able to measure that and demonstrate that, because costs have been going up substantially. And quite honestly, we have a number of clients that are also choosing to invest more in their meetings because they want that experience. And so delivering that experience for their attendees and getting that, return on experience is really meaningful. But how do we translate that to numbers? How do we help clients through data understand their meetings better and continue to evolve their meetings to improve their numbers?
Yeah, no, definitely. And we've had a full morning in the content here at our first sort of C-Suite Agency Growth Summit. What's been your biggest takeaway, do you think, so far?
First of all, it's been a great content, great morning. Looking forward to the afternoon. It is that we're all swimming in the same sea, if you will, especially when it comes to AI. Lots of conversations around it and lots of us trying to find our footing. We all know and recognize that it's there, that we need to incorporate it, that we need to adopt it, and talking about different approaches about how we're all doing that is pretty interesting. There's also the I don't want to call it the battle for talent, but talking about talent I think is really important in our industry right now, because we have a subset of that talent that is exceptionally good at what they do, remaining on the outside. They choose to be freelancers, they choose to be contractors. And how do we get them more engaged to represent our companies and our brands?
Yeah, I think that's always a change, isn't it? But, exciting times ahead there, hopefully.
It's a great industry to be in, and like I said, blue skies ahead. Everybody needs to be in person.